Hey, YouTube, how are we doing? Please let me know in the comments if you are watching this because this is the first time I've actually gone live and I can see there's a few people already liked the video, a few people coming as well. So please let me know in the comments down below, if you're here and say hi. Please come say hi. I'm excited for this YouTube live. Like I said, first time I've ever done it, and we're going to be talking about how to grow any online business. So I'm starting to do live business coaching sessions here on YouTube. So this is going to be super fun. If you guys do have any questions, please come to me with those questions in the chat. Hey, Zach, it's great to see you here. Thanks for saying g'day. Really appreciate it. It's good to know that I'm not just talking to nobody. So thanks for coming. It's great to have you here. So please, yeah, guys, ask me questions. Any questions about your business or where you're at in business, even if you haven't started a business, how to get started in buying a website or get started with website businesses, passive income, investing, anything. Ask me in the chat, and I'll be able to help you with that today. If you're not on my email list, I sent out to everybody that is on my email list that I will be going live at this time and to give me your questions so I can answer your questions live on YouTube. And the reason it's better for me to do this is because I can give far better in far more detailed answers to you guys. So yeah, if you do have questions, ask me or jump onto my email list and ask me. I'm just gonna put my camera down a little bit, which will be great. You wouldn't have noticed it, but I did. So come and say hi, everybody. I'll just get stuck in. I'll get started very shortly because I'm not gonna wait around all day for absolutely everybody. And I've got some questions to get through anyway, and some other cool principles to just share with you guys around business. So, hey, Tim, it's great to see you here. Zach's got a question. Zach says, are there any new online business models popping up recently that you recommend? That's a really good question. I'm not too focused on business models. I'm more focused on how much risk is involved with the businesses. What I am seeing is, like you guys, a lot of ads on YouTube. And I see people promoting different things. Like the latest thing that I'm seeing is some lady who is teaching you to start a Kindle publishing business, telling you how simple and easy it is. It's not. I went and did her webinar and scrubbed through her webinar. It was to be honest, a lot of fluff. And there wasn't much teaching. It saddens me because when I do a webinar or when I do a training, I do my best to give as much value, and it's hard. It's really hard to get people to a webinar. It costs a lot of time and money to do that, and then most people don't want to come to webinars because they're used to seeing fluffy webinars from people like that. So the Kindle publishing is not new, but it's not easy. In terms of new business models, I'm just going to have to say straight up, Zach, I haven't really noticed too many new business models that are really popping up. I know Amazon FBA have just gone bananas in the last 2 years because of e-commerce growth, with more people purchasing because of the current state of the world and the environment. But yeah, I've got some more cool stuff that I won't share with you now, but I've got some more cool stuff coming, some events and things that I will be able to share with you guys shortly, where you'll be able to ask similar questions to that to brokers and stuff like that. So it's a good question. Zach says, hey, Zach. Sorry, Tim. Tim says, hi. Tim says, I'm new to the process of finding a business. I'm very concerned that online businesses are valued too high due to COVID, as well as carry a lot of risk. Whew, that's a good question. If it is a question, think about it this way. Property related to investing in property or buying a property related to investing and buying an online business. What have the what has the property market always done? The prices of property have always gone up. Always. Why? Because they're a good investment. Uh, if you know how to do it correctly, I'm not going to talk about investing in property unless you guys really want to talk about that. Let me know. But investing in property is good, and property prices are always going to go up because they're good investments, and people need homes, so people are going to pay for that. Also, with online businesses, the multiples are going to continue to go up. Right? The multiples haven't gone up just due to COVID. Um, Multiples of businesses that were destined to go up anyway, and they're going to continue to go up even after COVID. The reason I say this is because more and more people want to buy businesses. More and more people are moving to the online space, and it's a great opportunity. It's a great option. Didn't Multiples didn't just get high when COVID happened. I remember buying businesses with like a 12-month multiple. And that was back in like 2014 when I first started. You could buy businesses for a 12 to 24-month multiple. COVID didn't happen until 2020, which is 6 years after the fact that multiples had continued to grow, continue to rise. So it wasn't due to COVID. And I wouldn't say the multiples are the risk, Tim. I would say that the businesses themselves are the ones that carry the risk, and the risk could be on the niche that you're looking at purchasing in. So if you're looking at purchasing a business, and this is funny, somebody came to me with an e-commerce business in Australia selling face masks, and they wanted to sell it. I said, look, I don't sell businesses. I'll put you onto somebody who can. But one of the brokers that I put them onto said, look, we don't sell businesses that are related to COVID because those numbers may not be able to be sustained moving forwards. So his face mask business had declined a little bit, did really well in 2020, declined a little bit in 2021, but next year, I dare say he's probably not going to sell many masks. So that's a business not to purchase in a niche that will be affected when COVID is no longer a crazy thing or forefront of our minds anymore. So yeah, you need to think about the risk of the niche, and then also a lot of the other risks that I talk about in my other videos. So yeah, thanks for those questions, guys. Zach and Tim coming to me with the good stuff. Do you guys have any other questions? If you are here on the live, come and say hi. I like to chat to you guys. I'm doing this for you. Carving some time out of my day to just share and have a chat with you guys. I have got a bunch of questions that I got from people on my email list that wanted me to answer their questions, and I said, "Yeah, let's do it. I'm holding a YouTube live. Let me give you the answers over video, so you can watch it and you can get a far more detailed answer than me just replying by email." So reach out to me via email if you don't have a question right now that you think of later, and I can answer it on the lives for you. So let's move over into some of their questions. So the first one is from Kim. So Kimberly says, I have a content site that's 11 months old. I won't read the URL because we're live. Steadily increasing with traffic. It gets about 5,000 users a month. I'm not making much money with it, only about $11 with Amazon Associates right now. I have 129 posts on it. How can I make more money with the site? Do you see anything obvious I need to change? So I won't go through the site and share it with you guys on the YouTube live, but it looks really good. The site looks really, really good. And she's got 129 posts. What I would say is the money comes from having a better site. So yes, Kim, your goal is to make more money, and you've got Amazon Associates on it right now. The quality of the content that you have determines how much revenue you make and how much traffic you get, which also determines how much revenue you make. So what you've got is you've got how-to guides and best products and all that sort of stuff. And you're in a food niche. So what I would suggest is picking a category and making it one, just pick one category and spend 6 months creating content around that category, and make sure you can, build up your domain and your authority around that category and outrank people in that category and provide the best information and the best value around that category. And I'm not just talking about Amazon Associates articles of like the best blenders to use or the best sandwich presses or whatever it is. I'd pick one category in your food space and stick with that, and have a uh, a call to action on some of the articles with Amazon links and other affiliates, but also make sure you're having great info articles and you're just providing so much value around that category. So they may come to your site for that particular answer in your article, and you're in this category. What you want to do is you want them to read the article and get so much great value information from it that they only want to continue learning more and more and more, and can click onto multiple uh, pages on your site. The goal is to keep people on your site for as long as possible. Let's face it. If you can keep people on your site for as long as possible, what happens is you just buy the byproduct that is you're going to make more money. And the reason for that is because people are on your site longer, so they'll see more ads on your site if you do put ads on the site, and they'll also be open to seeing more affiliate links and possibly will click on those affiliate links. So you can add ads to your site if you're only using Amazon Associates right now. It won't make you that much more money. I mean, you're getting 5,000 users per month, but it'll make you a little bit more money. So try out some ads. Don't be too aggressive with them, and then just focus on one category. And the category that I would choose is the category that you're ranking for, or you have is your top page, basically, or your top few pages, and just supports, create one pillar article around that content, that category, and then just go all in on creating supporting content around that, and make the content the best piece of content on the internet for the search term that you're trying to rank for. Whew. I hope you guys got a lot out of that. Since I'm live, guys, say hi. If you're here watching, please come into the chat box and say hi. I want to chat to you guys. I'm going to do this on the reg. So we're going to become buddies, which is going to be cool. But also at the same time, hit me up with your questions. I want to see what questions you guys have so I can help you with those questions. So I've got another question here that I got from people that are on my email list. If you're not on my email list, get on it. I get a lot of great comments and replies from my emails. People love them, which is probably a weird thing for people to think or hear about if you listen to this and you're not on my email list, because most email lists suck. Most of them do. Mine's pretty good. Plus, if you don't like it, just get off it, unsubscribe, no stress. Got a question here from Thomas. Hey, Jared, I see in your community post you were asking for questions from your viewers. My biggest question is like to see answered is how to speed up the growth process on a new content site. Whew, this is cool. This is a good one. This is a big one. Are there any additional traffic sources you recommend while you're waiting for the site to get out of the Google Sandbox? Would you recommend other strategies to generate cash flow while we wait for the site to be indexed? So that's a similar question to Kim's question. So let's stick with one question at a time. But I'm going to give you a bit of background around what Thomas is saying. He said the reason he's asking it because the sooner I can quit my job, the better. But I don't have the savings to just buy a site that will generate enough revenue to be able to quit my job. So I'm looking to speed up the process with starting something. Totally get that, Thomas. I really do. So the first question is, the biggest question is that he's got is how to speed up the growth process on your new content site. It's the same principle of what I was saying with Kim is don't try to focus on too much other than creating the best content on the internet for what you're trying to rank for. So for a new site, what I'd do is I'd go away and look at the KGR, so the keyword golden ratio. I actually have a lesson on that in my community, but if you go away and check out Doug Cunnington, big shout out to Doug. We've done multiple podcasts together. He created this thing called the keyword golden ratio. And if you use the keyword golden ratio, it can help you rank for low competition keywords. And when you're starting a new site, is you want to start ranking for low competition keywords because you got no authority and you got no DR, right? Domain rating or domain ranking, or DA, domain authority. So you need to build that up. And how you build that up is you start ranking for low competition keywords in your niche. And what I do is the same as what I said with Kim, is pick one category in your niche, create one pillar article, make that pillar article the best on the internet for that search term, and then create supporting content around that with longer tail keywords around that category that can support that article, and make that each one of those articles that you create as supporting content the best piece of content on the internet for that search term as well. Make sure you've got a lot of internal links from your pillar article to your supporting articles, and your supporting articles to your pillar article, and just make sure you can build up the domain authority and your authority in general in that space. And then that'll start to bring it out of, it'll start to get you ranking a little bit in Google. If you do this well and you're great at creating content, that'll start to get you more traffic, which will get you out of the sandbox. The next question is, are there additional traffic sources you recommend while waiting for the site to get out of the sandbox? Yes. If you have an email list, use the email list. If not, then depending on the niche, you may want to post snippets or send out some clickbaity stuff. Clickbait, not just fake news, but clickbait that gets people into the article or on your site that actually gives them a result and gives them what they promised, not something that is like a fake promise through spammy clickbait or crappy clickbait. But you want to share your content on other platforms that can bring traffic to the site as well. And it's depending on what niche your content site is in, will be dependent on where you share that. So that can be other traffic sources as well. So everybody that's here, I see you've got a fair few people here that are here. Say hi. I'd love to hear from you. I'm doing a live and I'm doing it for you guys. So come in and hit up the chat box and say g'day. Even if you have no questions asked, say hi. If you do have questions, please hit me up with the questions. I got one more question from Thomas. That question is, what would you recommend other strategies to generate cash flow while we wait for the site to be indexed? I wouldn't focus on trying to get cash flow straight away, Thomas. I know that you want cash. I know that you want money, but delayed gratification is a thing and compounding is a thing. And why I say it's a thing is because if you're trying to reap money from your content site straight away, it's like putting a seed into the ground and then a week later trying to harvest that seed. What you want to do is you want to realize that the longer you leave it, the longer you wait, usually the more, the better result that you're going to get in the cash flow when you do try to optimize for cash flow. So I wouldn't try and focus on that. What I would do is I'd instead focus on giving the seed everything it needs. So giving it water, making sure it's got adequate sun, making sure it's in good soil, making sure everything is really good. And how I relate that to your content site is make sure you're focusing on your content before you start focusing on making money. Because if you do it the other way around, you're just going to create another crappy affiliate site that just has all the best how-to or the best of articles of the best products on Amazon, which add no value and nobody cares about and it won't do well because you're just trying to scrape and make as much money as quickly as you can. So instead, change your focus to providing more value with your content. And the better the content is, the more money you're going to make. So start focusing on the content first, and then the cash flow will come. So I hope that helps. I think we've got more people here. Jason saying hi. Hey, Jason, great to see you. Jason Herring, cool, man. It's good to have you on. Zach has another question. I've got more questions in my list, but we'll hit your question up, Zach, since you're here and you're staying here and you're hanging out, and we're buddies now. So thank you. So Zach says, once a site is established with steady traffic, how frequently do you need to add articles to keep the traffic coming? Oh, that's a good one. Let me have some water, please. Zach and Jason, Tim, Uh, how often do we need to continue publishing content to make sure the traffic keeps coming? Not as much, not as frequently. It depends. It really depends. There's no magic number. Uh, what's more important is consistency. And I'll come back to consistency, but let's put a bookmark on that. I would say if you have published like 100 to 200 or 300 articles, just getting, getting traffic, like trying to get traffic to the site, and you're getting traffic, you may even be able to do that with 100 or 200. As long as the content's really good. I'd say once you've done that, and say if you do 100 in a year, that's 2 a week, right? After year 1 or year 2 is you could come down to 1 a week. And you would probably still be able to grow the site. Sometimes you can come down to like two a month, which is like a quarter of what you were doing when you started. It really depends on how much more you want to get out of the site and how much you want to grow it. So let's come back to the consistency. Is like if you're doing 100 articles a year, 2 a week, what I'd suggest you do is scale it back slowly, because you may have audience, depending on the niche, depending on how good your content is, you may have an audience that's like hungry for content twice a week, right? So you don't want to starve them too much straight away. You want to decrease your load. Maybe you go from like 2 a week, which is 8 a month, to 6 a month. And then you go to, after a couple of months, then you go to 4 a month, which is 1 a week. And then if you want to decrease even more, maybe you go to 2 a month. So I'd slowly start decreasing it, but make sure you keep consistent and consistently publishing content, because Google does like this, and your audience will like this as well. And you don't want your site to keep running and keep going. I mean, I do see, honestly, Zach, I see some people selling their sites and they haven't touched it for a year, a content site, and it hasn't gone downhill. I mean, it's just stayed stable. So you can leave your content site for 6 months and it'd be fine without any content, depending on how established it is. So I wouldn't say there's a magic number, but it's a really good question. Cool. Thanks so much for everybody who's coming in and saying g'day. I would consider this live a huge success, because we've got questions on the live, and I've got questions that people have asked me in my emails as well. So let's go back to John. We've got some more questions here. Questions from a man named John. Jared, can you please take a look at some of his sites? So Walkers for Seniors. And I don't know what he means by me having a look at these sites, but I'll have a look at them and I'll tell you what's going on with them. I won't share them just because privacy. He may not have given me consent to share this with you guys live. I don't know if I can share my screen. If you guys, how do I do that? How do I share this? Share this screen of mine with you guys. If anybody knows, let me know. I'm not going to spend my whole time looking. Say, hey. So, before we get to that, Tim's got another question. Oh, no. Tim says, thank you for your time today. Here's another, if you have time. Of course, I've got time. I love this stuff. It's usually hard or rare to get an SBA loan to buy an internet business. Oh, the question is, is it usually hard or rare to get an SBA loan to buy an internet business? This is a good question, Tim. I wouldn't say it's rare. And hard means different things for other people. So let me give you an example. If you didn't realize and you don't watch much of my videos and content or consume any of my content, the the reason I consider myself a good business person is because I use a lot of philosophies that I've lent from other areas of life. But coming to your question, Tim, is it usually hard or rare? Like I said, hard's hard for hard is different for every person. So hard may be for somebody who loves to sleep in. It may be hard for them to wake up early in the morning. For me, there's zero hardness about that. It's a normal thing for me because I do it regularly, which is fine. So it depends on where you're at, is what I'm saying. It depends on where you're at in your own life financially, if it's hard. Most SBA loans that people are using to buy businesses, online businesses, they're buying business for 500K. So a $500,000 business for an SBA loan, you need to have usually at least a 20% deposit or down payment to be able to get the rest financed. So for a 500K business, you need about $1,000, $100,000. Sorry. So that may be easy for some people, but for a lot of people, that's hard. So depending on where you're at, Tim, that'll help you see whether it's hard or not. Is it rare? No. I've had people buy business with SBA loans. You do need to be in the US. You need to be eligible. I do have a lot of people that aren't from the US, but most people ask me, "Hey, Jared, can I join your membership? I'm from the US. Is that a thing? With time zones." Look, most people in the community of the US, most people that are here, Tim, you're probably from the US. Zach, you're probably from the US. Jason, US probably. So I hope that answers your question. There's not that many options for financing yet. Eventually, over time, we will get there. But I have had an interesting discussion with somebody the other week. I forget who it was. I'm talking to a lot of people at the moment, and the discussion was, I was talking with Blake Hutchison from Flipper, and we were talking about acquiring businesses. The finance may not be there for acquiring businesses, but business finance for people that already own a business is a lot easier to get. So another option is to use what cash you have to buy a business, and then you can get business financing to grow it, which can be done. And it's usually a lot easier. Cool. Tim says, great. Thank you. Awesome. Thanks, Tim. Thanks for coming out and saying g'day. It's great. Really love it. So let's get to John Cianelli. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. This is another guy. It's not in the chat, but sent me an email asking me to look at his sites. Now I'm looking at one site and it's a senior site. Okay. So for the elderly, and he said to have a look at it, and I'm going to describe the site. It's got, aging, fall prevention, buying guides, reviews, how to articles, and all that sort of stuff. What I don't like about the site is down the bottom in the footer, it's got an about us section. What I don't like about the site is you do have the editor in chief, John, but there's not that much EAT in it. I mean, you've got your email there on the about us page, which is good. So, but there's not that, he doesn't, like, he says he's a researcher for the website. And there's no reason for somebody to buy into why you're doing this. If you had a better story, John, this is me being brutally honest. If you had a better story around like why you're into helping seniors, because you've had to help your parents when they were seniors and you'd learned so much and you just want to share what you've learnt, then people are going to be like, this is cool. This guy's actually interested. He's not just somebody who's just going to spit out content. But I see you got an image there, which is good. That does help. And your email, which is good. And then with your content, so I'm looking at the content. you've got so much broad content. Like I said earlier in this live, if you haven't gone through and watched the whole thing, focus on one category at a time. Make great content around that and just crush it in that category. Like if you were to just go all in on that category, so you've got a site for seniors, but you've also got like different things around Medicare, and then you got mobile machines, and then you got other apparatuses. It sounds like you've got one key category, but I would just go all in on that category. And instead of creating more content, you don't need more content on your site. I'm telling you, you don't need more content. What you do need, better content. If you got better content, you'll do better. You know, you got I mean, the content's not too bad. Structured quite well. I like it. But it's just a matter of time until the sites continue to earn more money. I mean, the site looks like it's some of these back in 2020. So I don't know what you're. Sorry, John. You just said, can you take a look at these businesses? You didn't really give me much to play with, but if you're watching this and you want me to go deeper and you're happy for me to share these sites, like I don't want to cross boundaries if there are some boundaries that you've set up with sharing these publicly, then yeah, let me know. I'm happy to share. But guys, who else is here? Come say g'day. I'm here to help you guys either find, buy, or grow a business, or just make some money, so we can set up our financial lifestyle and our future. Please say g'day on the live. And those of you who are here, Zach, Tim, Jason, thanks for coming and saying hello. It's really good to chat. All right. Any last questions from anybody before we wrap it up? I mean, I've got time. No, Tim says hello. I mean, so Tim just gives me a smiley face. Great, and thank you. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Tim. Cool. If you guys have anything you do want me to cover on YouTube or at all, let me know, because I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. And I think it's fun. I think it's fun hanging out with you guys. Tim says, I'll email you directly to become a member. I'll get some consulting or guidance. Cool, Tim. Yeah, happy to help. Yep, hit me up, email me, and we can start chatting there. Zach says, thanks. Thanks, guys. That's it. It's good to hang out. I'll speak to you guys soon. Peace out, guys. Bye.